来，里面都好了吗？都准备好了，准备开放性。来，这边准备好了吗？好了哈。OK。观众没有贴的，不要观众大家。这样。其他我觉得。可以了啊。好 ，OK， 好，可以进场。
等下就。照片不能走侧边，因为这边保留石。
我们应该
看过了，两个已经可以放。我有一个韩国语的那个。就是比赛的时候。
对，比赛的时候你们会有2支麦，但是当你们的 presentation 环节结束的时候，你们要把1支麦拿给我们，然后1支麦留着，因为
哦，对，了解。
对，然后因为他的那个摄影机设备要调整因为可能教授在那边学生所以我们可以选择说我们要做这个。如果要驻足的话，我们2个站的位置就是这里，不要站超过这里。如果要不近的话，我们就要站在这里面。可是站在这里面，
先拿麦嘛，然后到时候你讲开始，讲剩下5分钟。这里要开始讲再往外。好吧。
照片给我。我当他再传照片给我。
那我会再去尝试。有点紧张。
10分钟。
好。
观众不能在这里。
啊？
观众
规则就放在上面，是不是要怎么相处的？来检查。
Attention please. Our event will be started at 8:20. Please be quiet and be ready.
Hey guys, our English session will start at 8:20 in 5 minutes. And now I would like to invite our judges to draw a line to select which teams will go first. The first team today will be Go Away. And the second team is Don't Drop It 5.0. Okay?
你要放在这个地方。对，因为这里是我们的舞台动线。
等一下再。
你这个对。
那你们放这里好了，你们上台重点。
嗯，对，那你把你们都放。
你放这里好了，今天开场动。
那我先请他们等一下。好。
Our English session will start soon, so please be quiet and be seated.
And since here is English session, so you have to remember in this space English only. And when you come up on the stage, please come up the stage from here and go back from there.
Are you guys ready for today's event?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Jun Feng from Zhonghai University, Poya School, and here's my partner.
I'm also from Donghai University Poya School. My name is Yu An.
And welcome to the Environmental Action Forum's English session.
That's right. And today there are 6 teams that are going to present their insight on environmental issues and share their action they have taken to promote sustainability.
Wait, did I hear that correctly? You mean here 6 teams?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
This year, our English session has attracted more participants than last year. How exciting!
Wow, with so many teams here, their ideas will be incredibly diverse, right?
Yeah. From pollution control and sustainable development to the impact of animals on ecosystem, our presenter will cover a wide range of pressing environmental issues.
I can't wait to hear their creative ideas. But before we start it, maybe we should first introduce our rules.
Good idea.
Okay, for the environmental action forums, this is today's schedule. And after 16th presentation, we'll have judge team scores time. And after the break time, please remember to come back to the Maobang Hall in 2 p.m. for the closing ceremony and award ceremony. And here's about the score. Judges take the 70% and each team take the 30%. And here's the detail. And in the duration, each team have 25 minutes for each team and 5 minutes for the transition. And during the presentation, each team have 15 minutes and you will hear 1 bell ring when you have 2 minutes left. And you will hear 2 bell rings when your time's up. And after the presentation, judges will have 10 minutes for comments. And here's some notes you have to remember. Number 1 is no eating or drinking. And please switch off your mobile phones. Number 2 is recording audio or video. Is strictly prohibited, except for the official staff. Number 3 is please focus on listening attentively to the presentation on stage. Number 4 is no entry or exit during the presentation. Number 5 is do not change seat without permission. Number 6 is respect other team and remain fully engaged throughout the presentations. The participation will be considered in the judges' criteria.
And the most serious part is finished. All the road is the most serious part for today's event. And now I would like to introduce 3 amazing people here, our judges. Okay, first let's welcome our first judge, Professor Yu Huiguang. Professor Yu holds a PhD in economics from Texas A&M University. And she is now served as a professor in Department of Public Finance at Fengsha University. She specializes in economics and focuses on public economics and AI in finance and economics. In recent years, her paper explores some environmental issues, including data analysis in SDGs and ESG frameworks. And then please welcome our next judge, Professor Mrs. Lin Fangfei. Sorry. She worked as a manager and has over 20 years experience of managing. And she excels in not only brand management and integrated marketing, but also stand out for her organizational skills and innovative thinking. And then, please welcome our next judge, Mrs. Huang Tingyu. Mrs. Huang is a volunteer. She has been a volunteer since 2010, and she believes storytelling. She thinks insightful story can change difficult technology into words of power. This kind of skill is necessary for all of us in the environmental action forum to engage more people in environmental issues.
So now we know the 3 judges, and you ready for your presentation? Awesome. You're not ready, okay? But if even if you're not ready, the presentation will be started. So that's show time.
Let's welcome the first thing. I think you want to put your thing to the front.
Hey, did you see Zhongge today?
You mean who?
You don't know Zhongge? It's in our dorm area. We have 2 dogs there, Zhongge and Coco. And they're basically the local bosses there.
Are they the dorm staff dogs?
Actually, they're strays. Just people there look after them.
Stray dogs. Actually, we can see those poor animals everywhere. In the city, on the campus.
Yes, they seem cute. Many people like them and feed them, but they do cause some problems.
Maybe you have to pay attention to the next group's presentation. They focus on this topic for a long time.
And that's welcome, the Go Away team.
Yes.
在这里准备好。
下一页就按下。Hello, everyone. We are Go Away! 3 high school students from the Society of Wellness in New Branch. I'm Alan,
I'm Justin.
I am Drew.
and you can call me Reckon.
Afan.
Oka.
And this is our QR code of our website. First, we'd like to explain the motivation behind our report. I choose this topic because of a personal experience. I first planned to study the bats near my community. One day, a stray cat appeared at its tree, and I never helped nurture it. But after the cat's death, I saw fewer birds in our community. This showed me how even good action can affect nature. That made me think more about stray animal and wildlife, inspired our project. While observing bats, I unexpectedly discovered the sovereignty of dog and cat in city. I shared this finding with my friends, and led us to explore how stray animals are managed and the impact that cause to wildlife.
Then we start our action immediately. We went to an exhibition. It helped us understand that the problem of stray animal is not simple. Stray animals can hurt nature, but they also suffer. They're often hungry, sick, and have no space to live. This made us feel more strongly as we wanted to deal with the problem. This photo shows 3 native species that were attacked by dogs. They were eastern grass owl, leopard cat, and pangolin.
About that area of our Jinchen Lake, we saw the strength of attacking the water birds.
Returning to the exhibition, this photo reveals that the dog in the wild face high birth rate but also high death rate. And they also suffer from illness and sick generations by generations. In shelters, they live in limited and tight stress, and they lack of proper care. So, where should they stay? They should stay in a home filled with warmth and love. The series of photos shows that both wild animals and stray animals deserve to be where they belong.
After learning about the issues, we start to promote a suit where we face some difficulty.
Because the topic was so complex, we spent a lot of the time researching before sharing it with our friends and family. But after that, we got lots of detailed questions. Because we don't have a specific place to promote our project. This year, our leader suggested us focusing on Jinchen Lake, a smaller area with an oncoming problem.
With help from a local guide, who became our advisor. We found it more manageable, and the impact of stray animal on nature was more visible there. So, we choose it as our project base. Next, we will introduce action after visiting the shelter, doing the expedition, and deciding to help protect the Jinchen Lake. We have two things to show. One is the website, the other is broken. This is our website front page. This is our website about the Jinchen Lake overview. This is our website page about the intent of the water bird and migratory birds. This is our website page about the game experimentation and introduction.
Next, we will introduce our board game through a theoretical performance. By the way, Dog team wins by completing one of the following: occupying all habitats, elevating the migratory birds, or having a higher score at the end of round 30. And human team wins by completing one of the following: 1. Removing all dog species. 2. Having a higher score at the end of round 30. Now, let's start the game.
OK，哎，不能我在这里，反了啊。
In a silent and vast wilderness, new life has quietly emerged.
We must take action as soon as possible to protect the migratory birds.
Oh.
These migratory birds. Throwing sandbags determine the birth points of a dog. Rolling 1 means a dog is born in the winter. The wetland.
Now let them know who truly ruled this land. Now, full speed ahead.
Overshoot lets a dog move 1 extra space in a direction, quickly closing a target.
Report for it. Start ambush. The trap cage has been set.
Spikes allows you to deploy a trap cage on the tile edges to volunteer. Any dog entering it will be captured and be sent to the shelter immediately.
You've got the wrong target. I've already infiltrated your defenses. Well, at least go.
Skinwalker can replace native animals on edges tiles with adult tokens, catching opponents by surprise.
Use avalanche. Stop now. Stop them. 3 tiles. Clear them.
Shelter them. Shelter them in the shelter. Avalanche can remove up to 2 dogs in a straight line, delivering a powerful blow to the dog's right actions.
There are too many. We must take action properly to stop them. Neuter twice to stop it from getting worse.
Card. Double effect allows extra neuter on house with already neuter dog, making control stronger.
Okay. Here the migratory bird come, ready to attack. Oh.
This time, we won't let the tragedy happen again.
The migratory are about to come, and the outcome is about to be decided. Are you ready to join the battle?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Players may only care about winning or losing each round, but as a creator, we need to think beyond that. We put lots of effort into conveying the following issue through the game. We have 3 issues to convey. One is promote TNSA, another is promote no abandon, the other is show the threat that wildlife is now facing.
Our first goal is to awareness about the TNSA. We want to help more stressed animals get adopted and protect wild animals and the environment. Trap cage in the game means shelter. We want to design the adopt system can reduce the size of the shelter.
TNSA stand trap, nurture, shelter, and adopt. This strategy aims to humanly reduce stray animal numbers by trapping animals, stop uncontrolled breeding, and nurturing to prevent reproduction, sheltering instead of euthanizing. adopting to help them to find a home to live forever.
We also advocate against animal abandonment. Abandonment is easy, just like we throw a sandbag. But the responsibility, however, means a lifetime of care. And we also show the threats that wildlife is currently facing. Just like every game round, the presence of stray animals turns wildlife into a constant struggle. And for water birds, in one possible ending, migratory birds are attacked. If stray dogs are still around, the danger will never go away. Next is some reflections on our subject.
We weren't good at explaining the performance stuff, so we use the website to show it.
Format like documentaries or exhibition have become too common, so we decided to go with something less common. A board game.
We were not familiar with board game design and formal presentation and promotion, but we are now familiar with it because we met many wrongs many times.
Next, we will show the future plan. We will promote the present in the September, November, January, February, and March. People can fill all the forms to get a newsletter and join the talk. First, we will talk about the short-term goals. One is create a discussion group, and we will open the space online for people to join the talk by the key topic. The other is inviting the expert to share. We will ask a scholar, NGO to join the online talk and turn the highlight into the show video.
For medium-term goals, we will create in-depth content every month. For week 1, we will know the problem background. Week 2, we will study a case. Week 3 and 4, we will make a further discussion. Then, we will take regular promotion. We will make a newsletter which is sent once a month, featuring the best article of the month. We will also make short video, create 1 to 2 minute video to show the key point of the article.
In the long run, we hope our project can influence government policy. Our plans including publishing a policy with white paper based on past data and platform discussion with concrete policy suggestions. And another one, we will host a policy experience day, inviting government officials, legislature teams to play our board game. Before finishing the poster, we want to say thanks to someone. One, our leader and our advisor. Without your help, we won't stand on this stage. 2. The member of Society of Wellness Taoyuan branch, who inspired us to make a board game and help us about the cards. 3. We appreciate all of you. Although our English is hard for you to know, still pay attention on us. We are Go Away! Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you for Teams Go Away. I think this can really make people think about the connection between animals and the environment. And I have some friends that study in life science and also pay attention to wildlife and animals. I think that would be interesting in this board game. And now let's invite our judge to draw a lot for the next team. And then they will give us some comments and encourage.
our next thing is harvest trader.
Okay, the
13.
The 13 for today's presentation will be a harvest trader.
I will start first, and I think all of you have done a great job. But I have a question about is your short and long-term goal is still under the planning status, right? It's not.
Yes.
So you plan doing in November, September, November,
Yes, September, November,
March.
January, February, March. We will host an activity
And
to create a board game.
okay. And do you think about how will you measure the effectiveness of the board game in raising the awareness about the stray animal and their ecological impact? How you can think about how to measure when, yeah, the effectiveness.
We will have a form that they can fill it, and we will host a group to let them to discuss about the issue, because we think we think now we will have a problem is that we want to protect wild animals, but another people they want to help animal welfare. So but these two can't have a connect. So we want to use the board game to connect these two. Yes.
Hi. I think you're very busy, but it's a very fun presentation. What I wanted to say is, do you have because right now it's like beginning stage, what's your definition of success for your beginning stage?
Success.
Yeah. How do you define if you're successful, you want to continue, or you say, oh, maybe we should tune it a little bit before we proceed? Do you have like a guardrail of your project to do evaluation of how you should proceed or not?
Oh, because now we just made this and this is our first to promote to so many people. So we want to use this day to check if it's success, and we want more people. Like yesterday, some adults asked me about a lot of questions about this issue, because we want this board game can get more discussion about stray animals and wild animals, so they can have a better place to live. Yes. So we don't really
have a definition.
Yes.
I think this will be something we need to work on, but I have just one question before we move on to the next one. You kept on in your, probably the last 3 slides you talked about, you will use the data for influencing the policymaker.
Yes.
Yeah, so what exactly the data you're gonna collect from the beginning? What exactly is the data you're going to collect?
Oh, the data will.
Because in your future plan, you said there you're gonna use the data on past data. What exactly are you starting to collect some data now?
Oh, we are already collect the data in our website. Yes. Like how many dogs are neutered in Jeju, and how many dogs that sheltered in Jeju, and how many dogs will adopted in Jeju. These 3 data we are collecting, and we will collect like how long did the stray animal like live in the wildlife, like stray cats or stray dogs, and contrast to the human pet dog. I guess the data like the wildlife and the stray animals, they just live for 3 years to 5 years, but pet animals can live for about 10 years to 15 years. And it is a big contrast we can show to everyone.
I like the energy of the team. It's very interesting. And but I have to say, I'm a bit confused with your presentation. I think because it wasn't very clearly stated, what is the problem you try to solve? Are you trying to promoting the issues? And what, so what? After people know about these issues, and what are we gonna do?
Okay, first we will say this is a very complex issue. So there are two sides of people, and they are fighting. So we want to say is, within the current rules, we strongly support strict government enforcement like no abandonment or
Yes, I saw that in your presentation.
Yes.
However, since there are two sides of stories, right?
Yes.
I think it's good for you to present two sides of stories so people know what exactly, why people are having struggles to choose their sides, right? And sometimes it's not about choosing sides. It's about how to come up with a solution that can, make everyone satisfactory for the status quo. But that's one thing I think it's really important for you to think about. The problem you want to solve, and why is it difficult to solve? And so that's something I think it will be on the presentation side. It will make people understand. And also, I want to build on the data questions earlier. If eventually you want to engage with a policy maker, and you need to know what you want to talk to them, what kind of request you want to ask them, so that you want to collect the data to convince them. And do you know the request or what you want to talk to the government, what kind of decision you want them to make?
Oh, because we want to create a discussion group here. It's like we want to let citizens to discuss about this question. So it can be.
So I think everything ties together. You need to have a very clear end, your goal in mind, and then design all your project plan. So you can solve the problem or collect the data you need in order to answer or in order to make a request to the person you want to engage. So maybe you need to think about in longer term. In short term, what is the problem you want to solve? In longer term, what is the goal you want to achieve? I think that's it. But overall, I do think this is a really good beginning, but there's a long way to go. Okay?
Because there are three different kinds of people that want to protect the wildlife. One is very deep, like our advisor or media, like us.
Media.
So we want to extract the shadow part because they don't know about this issue and they can't vote for it. They can't have proper thoughts that they vote. They choose their way. So we want to use this to get into the world of wildlife and stray animals issues.
Actually, I've been to Jinchenghu before. I went there for bird watching, so I know about the stray dogs. But I also did a research on the issue. It's really not just about the number of the stray dogs. in that area. It also has to do with the wetland because of the sediment accumulations, right? So the stray dogs was able to enter the wetland to capture the birds. So it's an intersecting issues. So it really depends on which problem you want to tackle. So that's why we ask you about your focus, okay? And because it's difficult issues, that's why we need you here.
Overall, I want to say, I think I captured what you want to say. You try to create a discussion to make sure that different parties, different people, they all focus in different area, they can work together. So your goal is for people to think on well-rounded plan to do this as a well-covered and well-thinking through plan and good execution, right? Is that what you want to say? Because I think I understand it. And I really agree, I really totally support you. This is the most important area for people to sit down and talk and work together. So give it a go. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for Go Away team.
我有5分钟准备时间。
先准备放。
好的。你要超过这一台才会被拍。
OK， 那我们可以站的。
哎，不要站太过去，只要超过那个一台，站超过这里，你才会被那一台拍到。然后你不要超过那个一台，在这两个之间。
刚刚是站那里。对，所以不要超过2英尺。对。站，尽量不要超过。可以搭起。然后稍微站回来，对，不然会被拍不到。你想，那个人讲的，是不要站太远，这个你是不要站太边了。不然就是可能没有被拍到一下下。谢谢。先不要站超过10千。不可能，对吧
？Okay, thanks for the Go Away team.
只有什么事情介绍？可以过去。好。
那你们，OK。
那你们要提前介绍，跟他们讲，所以要提示。
哦，跟他们讲在干嘛？
Hey, you won a penny for your ball.
Well, do you remember those secret buds we saw on the way here?
You mean those small but dirty bugs?
Yeah, those small but ugly, sticky secret buds makes me feel like maybe we should do something about that.
Yeah, those tiny bugs make a complex. However, it is hard to get rid of them.
You can say that again. But what can we actually do to deal with the cigarette butts? And is there any effective way to make our city clean?
That's a good question. Maybe the next team will give you the answer. They have to do a long-term effort on this topic.
And that's welcome. The Don't Drop It 5.0 team.
everyone, we're Team Don't 5.0. Now let me introduce you our team members. My name is Pen, and this is Udi, Sherry, and Hank. And in the bullpen, we have Mike and David. Now Lucy will show you where it's all started.
There was 5 elements we are covered today. In our first year, we met online to explore news about cigarette butts. We discovered 6 surprising facts about them. This myth helps us understand the serious harm caused by cigarette butts. Water pollution, ocean pollution, environmental pollution, plastic waste, human hazard, and fire safety. Then we are not starting from zero. We are building on the work of our predecessors. Let's look at the history. Don't Drop In 1.0 put field study where both together, 2.0 put theater in drains, and 3.0 work with the community. Inspired by 3.0, we think of 4.0 in 2023 and focus on advocacy and international exchange. In this year, we continue at 5.0, and our call to action is simple. We want to invite more people to join us. This is our process of actions. Now, Udi will show you what we did to clean up cigarette butts.
In the first year, we take out cigarette butts on the street from time to time. Each team member also set up a litter catching drain net near their home to stop cigarette butts entering the drains and clean it up. In the second year, we teamed up with Central Group to regularly pick up cigarette butts near Central High School. We recorded the data and shared our results online to raise awareness. We created this new smart dish barrier to make cleaning easier. It is made with a Wi-Fi module and a light sensor. When the getters are full of litter, the Wi-Fi module will send a message to your phone and tell you to clean it. It helps to save time and make cleaning easier. We are still working on improving this device. We decided to develop the Secret Ball Hunter app. We want to encourage users to handle their secret in fun elements. We create 6 characters based on our team member traits to lead users through a fun point-based challenge and make them love the app. We also hope that the app can make people pay attention to our environment. Here's how to use the app. You can find a map in this app, and if you want to find a smoking area, cigarette butt hot spots, or cigarette butt bin, you can use this app. And if you find a smoking area, or cigarette butt bin, or cigarette butt hot spot either in this map, you can take a picture and add it into the map. Each character has score. If you watch a video or upload the new places, you will get score. You can use this score to get cool gifts. When we studied the cigarette butt problem, we saw that Japan and UK use a fun bin called the Better Bin. It helps a lot. It helps to reduce cigarette butt by 80% of the street. So we want to make our own one in Taiwan and put it in store. We are now making a sample, and guess what? One store already said yes. We are not just cleaning cigarette butt by ourselves. We also work with an NGO and the government. We interviewed Mr. Huang Zhentan, the former head of the Tongchi Foundation. He told us about the foundation's work on tobacco roll and shared his thoughts on cigarette butt. He encouraged us to use our voice as children to make a change. We worked with government too. We spoke to the Zhonghua and Guangming neighborhood leader in Luzhou and Sanchong and helped locals make cigarette butt bin. The Ministry of Environment invited us to a press and conference cigarette butt off the ground. During the Children Action Forum, we consult experts. They suggest us that in the second Children Action Forum, we should invite government officials. And next, welcome Sherry.
在我们12楼旁听了来自不落地联盟的所有的同学们啊，我们欢迎各位同学啊，来我们发言，掌声欢迎。
Thanks to the speaker on the legislative Yuan for the introduction. So, On the first round, the judges gave us a instruction. We wanted to understand more. We wanted to talk more with the government. So on July 4th, we went to the legislature to talk with the legislator Lin Yueqing. We had the real policy discussion with the legislator and practiced our right to speak as children, and felt more connected with the society. So next part, I will show you how we spoke up in public. We give talks in schools from elementary to university. There are 10 schools in total. Students are all happy with our speech. And after our talk, students understood more about cigarette butts and started to notice this problem. And look at this. Most of the schools are elementary school. But why did we choose kids? Smoking is kind of a doubt issue. Because we know that a big change starts from small. We wanted to show the kids right idea about cigarette butts early on. And if the kids pass the message to the parents, it really works. Our central team set up a cigarette butt awareness booth at their school anniversary event. We used this online quiz to help students, teachers, and community members to learn the truth about the harm in cigarette butts. And on the event day, there were almost 2,000 people were there. We used louder speakers to spread message and invite people to join. And on the picture we held a parade near a MRT exit at Ximending, a popular spot for young generation. And on the cigarette butt problem with Huaishan Elementary School and the groups like 台语潮。
滚头派完蛋，共和起来，
让我们一起
杜绝烟害，不留余地。
Together, make our advocacy stronger together with others. And we also invited to the present at the National Academy. We spoke to many educators about the power of children's action. And in the first round, the judges gave us another instruction. We wanted to understand more about smokers, so does not treat them badly or with bias. Team member Udis and Hen become your representative of Yilan County and the members of the Ministry of Education's Advisory Committee. They gave a instruction to the ministry. Help students to report smoking spot near their schools, and this can help students stop smoking and keep them healthy. This year, we did something new. We held a children action forum. We worked with other groups and used social resources. By working together, we showed that children can take action. And we also practiced what we learned in CB class. Children have the right to share their ideas. And we even asked the Canadian team to use Google Meet to share their action and results. And we learned that preparing an event is hard. It needs a lot of teamwork and good preparation. And we rode bicycle around Taiwan for an advocacy tour from July 5th to 13th. We videoed our tour and uploaded onto our YouTube channel. We did a lot, but how can we let more people know and make it influence? So next part, Hank will show you our cool ideas.
We use online social media platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram to share news, document cigarette butt cleanup efforts, and advocate for change. We have been interviewed by the media and received very positive feedback. To make our digital advocacy stronger, we organized a short video workshop. Our team leaders held participant films on the streets. We also held an online event to share their work. Now, let's move to art. Start from May 2024, we perform our 3-role stakes in many activities. Through the appeal of the drama, we want to let more people know the harm of the cigarette butts. From the street to the stage, we also performed another play called The Twilight of the God.
I'm the god of the light. My name is Father. When I was little, my mom asked the God to make me safe from all weapons, so nothing can hurt me now.
Ridiculous! Guys, let's see if it's true or false! Shut up! Hey, father, look at my sword! Whoa! Hey, look at my weapon!
Oh yes, Masachi, here. Oh, thank you.
Look at my axe! Yeah!
Nothing can hurt me. Oh, that's just a small tiny cigarette butt. It can't hurt me. Wait, I feel uncomfortable. Ugh. What? This small tiny cigarette butt has over 7,000 of toxic chemicals. Ah!
See, cigarette butts are tiny but deadly. We use Norse mythology as a setting and creatively included the harm of the cigarette butts. More than 400 people watch our show and they think it was both fun and educational. If you miss our show, feel free to watch it on our YouTube channel. In our art action, we learned another new skill, sketching from life. Start from February to June this year, we do live sketching once a week. We will add cigarette butt issues into our drawings and perform Euro 6 in this exhibition. We expect 500 to 1,000 people will watch this exhibition, so using art to let more people know the harm of the cigarette butts. Now let's go to global cooperation. We have also been interviewed by the Changrong Christian University to speak a keynote speech to over 20 countries' university students. And also the university students, they gave us some feedback. We discussed cigarette butt issues and policies with Jocelyn from Korea, Alice and Carrie from the USA, and Curtis and Celia from our Canada team. And we also discussed cigarette butt issues with Japanese students. Now let's go into joint competitions. We signed up for many charity events, achieved good results, and continue to expand our influence, especially community family and MTK Smart Village. And African provinces, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. After doing many actions, start from August 2023, we realized that we are not alone. That's why this year we teamed up with our Canada team, Sanchong Junior High School and Huaishan Elementary School to let our voices loud. Now, our team leader Pam will give us a final talk.
And however, through all these actions, we have some problem. Like we need to be time management or more. And but we also feel proud when we do these things. We tell people about cigarettes and show that children can make a difference. And our future action will keep making act, working with more people, having international exchanges and evidence. And this is our project budget. We reached over 40,500 people. And why did we do so many actions? It's because we want to let people know that cigarette butts is very harmful. They hurt our life, the people, the earth, and our future. So we want the people know that don't throw it on the ground or even drink. It's because it's very harmful.
So, what are you waiting for? Join us.
Together,
we can change it. Thank you.
I just can say, wow, yeah, what an amazing project. And definitely, Fujian University can join you to promote this project. Yeah, because a lot of, right now the campus is not allowed to smoke, but we still find a lot of cigarette butts just outside the gate. And we got a lot of complaining through our communities. So probably I can invite your team to our campus. Yeah, I just have a question. How do you plan to measure a long-term behavior change in smoker after installing your creating cigarette butts? How do you measure?
Can you say it again? I don't really understand.
Because you installing the creating cigarette box, right? And how do you measure the long-term behavior change? Because you promote it and you want to change people's behavior. Don't drop the cigarette box. But how do you measure your?
Oh, okay. So we do a lot of advocacy to let more people know that if you litter the cigarette box into drinks or on the ground, it's all harmful. So we want to use first advocacy, and when we are at advocacy, we will also say to them that, oh, if you find the cigarette box bins, you can throw it inside and the people will take them away. Yeah, do I answer this? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You guys are. I wonder how many hours you have to put in this project because I'm worried that you have time to study. Because I thought you still like junior high school.
Yeah, and it's elementary school.
Oh my God, you guys are so busy. Schedule will be full. Because I was counting the action you've done, it was like more than nearly 10 action. So my question is very simple because I really like all kinds of ideas like the cigarette butt application, especially I like the ballot beans. You talk about the other country has conducted, and also a lot of events. And so many activities, so many things you have to do, but you have limited time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering which one will be your focus, and how do you execute all of them while you have so many? You have drama, you have competition. So how do you manage, and which one will be your focus?
We will work together. Like sometimes just he and she go to school to talk with kids, and another day maybe he do maybe they go to
Maybe like he goes to competitions by himself, but
alone.
yes, sometimes like the community family, I go to the competitions by myself to spoke. Yeah. So we will like have a online meeting once a week or once a month to discuss cigarette issues and what will we do next. Yeah. And in this year, we focus on the Children Action Forum and Team Up. Now, our team have over 5 teams: Samsung team, Bison Elementary School, Gohua team, and Canada team, and our. Yes.
Also, so what you have presented is the results of 5 teams.
No, it's only us, 5.0, and because other teams they just formed like a few months ago, so they don't have much time to do that lots of actions. So what we have presented is like all we 70 of this.
Oh wow! But good job, amazing. I don't think I can do that much as you do, but I think my recommendation is just like what you have said. We'll worry about how you're going to continue and measure your success, because if you have so many things you have to focus on, how do you make sure they all works towards the same goal? And it really makes change happening.
Like some other are like our friends, our parents are really just. Some of our friends smoke, but adult friends. And they saw our actions and they really change a lot. Like some of my grandparents just not smoking. Yeah, and we really did a lot. And I think the most important we want to solve is like we want to solve the cigarette butt problem, but
it's a very big problem.
Yeah.
So we can solve it like 2 years. Maybe we have to solve it by 10 years or maybe 20 years or longer.
Maybe you will have children.
Yeah.
Then like my sister, she enjoys then she sees the cigarette butt in the front. She said, "Wow, that was cigarette butt." Then I will pick it out. Then she will want to draw picture about cigarette butts. Yes.
I think, sorry, sorry to cut in. Please spare some time for me to Okay. So first of all, I think I remember seeing some of you before. Since this is a generation 5, how many of you have participated in this project from generation 1?
Oh, okay. So we like 7 guys start from the nonprofit 4.0.
4.0.
Or
So you have a way to pass on your learning from the previous generation. So because there's a lot of learning over 6 years. And like you said, time management is an issue, and you are growing up, you are going to have a boyfriend, girlfriend, you're becoming busy and busy. You want to make sure you can pass on your knowledge to the future members. So do you have a toolkit to pass on your knowledge and learnings?
Okay, so because the people before us, the 1.0 to 3.0, they just have a speech and we are very touched, so we start doing these actions. And our maybe the 7.0 or 8.0 will be our sisters or brothers.
Yeah, so because I think you said you already start building alliance. There are a lot of new alliance, right? Like the Sanchong team and the US or the Canada team, right? So you want to enable them to catch up with you faster, right? So they can build on what you have learned and to take on their own journey. So it's not possible for you to talk to them every day.
Yeah.
So I think that's something you need to think about, how to better prepare yourself either to do the succession planning or to enable other team to fast track their journey. And the second feedback, like I said earlier, it's important to set a goal. You can have mini goal first and have a bigger goal in the future, but those goal will guide you to determine if you are doing the right action, if you are capturing the right data. So to make sure you are on the right track, otherwise you will end up doing a lot of things and you don't know if those things will help you to achieve your goal in the future. So that's one feedback. And the second one is I remember I see on the news, Taoyuan City and Taichung City, they already have the AI system and surveillance system to identify if people are littering illegally. And would you consider to collaborate with those governments and with what you already have, and maybe to do something greater together? Do you know about this?
We don't know about this, but if they use AI, there's a problem because they know that these people I literate, but he don't know that who am I. So I think this one is a problem.
Like using, I talked before that we work with the government, and I think this is a really good idea to, because everyone, maybe some people don't know us, but they all know government. Yeah. So we can use to work with other governments and spread our influence.
Sorry, this mic doesn't work.
Thanks for the demographic team. And we want to invite our judge to pick the fourth team.
And maybe you guys don't know, but freshmen in Tsinghua University has to do the experience education. And when we were freshmen, I have to get up so early and clean up those maybe cigarette butts of our campus. And maybe you can bring your idea into Tsinghua University. And who's our fourth?
The fourth thing would be green living activities.
Okay.
Hey, what are you watching?
Oh, let me tell you, lately I'm really interested about this channel about foods.
Food series or something like shows?
No, not just cooking shows. They're talking about some foods maybe come from a foreign country and some are locals and how they slowly become this everyday life of them.
That's quite interesting. Maybe you have to pay attention to the next group presentation. Next, they are all about this.
Okay. And that's welcome, the Harvest Trader team.
Hi, Marcus. Do you like red bean desserts?
Yes, I love red bean soup and red bean mask.
That's great. But do you know when red beans were introduced to Taiwan?
I'm not sure then. When?
Red beans were introduced to Taiwan during the Japanese colonial period. They became popular and are now used in many Taiwanese desserts.
Oh, it's so late.
Greetings, we are the Harvest Traders, and we are here to show you our project during the past year. This is a game that we created. It's called, a big translation of it would be You Live What You Eat, and it's a historical RPG game that we created. Our team name, Harvest Traders, reflects not only our storyline about a porter who is new to the port and he's starting his new journey and he's trading goods and harvest, but also we want to trade our knowledge to the society and our people. And this is the outline that we will be presenting. So first, I will talk about my project background. We are a team from Tainan, so we took our inspiration from the Tainan 400 years anniversary. This was in 1624 was the year that Taiwan as an island was introduced to the global stage. And so we thought, what happened 400 years ago that brought Taiwan to that stage and became a thriving island? So we thought of the Columbian Exchange. This was the time where goods and vegetables, crops, fruits were all exchanged around the world and shaped many places, food culture and ecology. But then in social studies or in science class, we will learn that we learned that forest species are invasive and harmful, but we thought, why are they necessarily bad? Because, for example, the red beans that we just talked before, and the mangoes that are popular in Tainan and Taiwan, and sugar canes, they are all so-called invasive or forest species, but they are not harmful to our society. Instead, they brought diversity to our culture. And so with that, we want to introduce our public that non-native species are not necessarily harmful, but help shape Taiwan's ecology and culture. And also, we want to raise environmental awareness and responsibility, because we think that how we manage these foreign species are more important than just merely teaching us that these are bad and we should reject them. Also, we hope that this study, this education would be fun and inspiring. So we created a fun and quiz-based online adventure for our people to play. And then I will talk about the process. So this was the timeline. We started with brainstorming, and then we did some research. And finally, we dig into the game design session. So with brainstorming, the first biggest challenge for us was how to familiarize the public with local crops while engaging them with local history and culture and traditions, and all while making this education fun and inspiring. And also, unlike the previous teams, we are a very poor team, so we had zero budget, so we had to make something that we can only sacrifice and devote our brain and our time. So we come to the consensus that we will be making an online RPG adventure where the player will be introduced to a life of a porter working before, and he will be learning alongside his mentor. So for the research phase, we started with weekly meetings and we shared information every week. So we read some books and we shared what we found every week. And with that, we dived into literature discussion. We read the general history of Taiwan, Taiwan Tongshi, which was the earliest copy of our Taiwanese history. And then we also did some local market visiting. That was just a picture of us. And that was when we realized that most of our team members don't really know what we're consuming every day, because when we go to the market, we can't tell this crop from that crop. And we mess things up easily. And this is a picture of one of our online meetings. And then for the game design phase, I will be handing this floor to my fellow teammate, Sasha.
So hi, I'm Sasha, and before we did our research, I will be talking about what we did on our game design. So after we decided to use a game, we wanted a platform that can visualize our game. So at first, we used Google Forms as a very basic structure. As you can see, it is quite plain and boring, and does not attract people that want to play our game. So we moved on to Open Labs, which is an app for gameplay. And you can see that it has a very aesthetical kind of vibe, and it's just, it's like vintage. And a lot of people want to play just by looking at its cover. So after we decided to use a platform, we moved on to story plot and question designing. At first, when the very basic structure, we had 4 different storylines. And because people thought it was too hard and boring to play, so we made that into one complete storyline, which combines the 4 individual characters, like the porter, the apprentice, the expert, and the master. So as we can see when we made that into one complete storyline, we used those 4 characters into categorizing players based on their scores. For example, if I got 81 to 100 points, I will be a harbor master in that case. So when we designed our game, we met a lot of challenges along the road. For example, we made some changes about plot story design from 4 characters into one complete story, like I said before. And also we had a change of platforms from Google Forms into Open Labs. So both when we used Google Forms and Open Labs, we found that they both had some limitations. So first, Google Forms lacks playability and aesthetics. But on the other hand, Open Labs cannot edit certain kinds of questions. So in that case, we changed some questions. On the left is Google Forms, and you can see it has a lot of variety of answers and options that people can choose from. But Open Labs, which does not provide a lot of options, So we had to change that into easier kind of questions. So moving on, I'm handing my mic to a team member. He will tell us about the statistics of our game.
Now it's time for the outcome. In this part, we will tell you what we got in this game. First, by showing the game with our relatives and friends, we've got 366 views, 200 started answering, 128 completed replies. So that means some of them are just see the number 1 or number 2 question and just go out. And 6 even hit the share button. About the average finish time, it is about 4 minutes. But I think it's quite low than I think. I don't think this game can be finished in such a short time. So we guess they are maybe answering very many times. So they can remember the answers and do it very fast. Or they are just answering randomly. So yeah, they can do fast. And about the individual results, we can see the distribution about the all level are quite balanced. But surprisingly, the most people are in the highest level with Harvard Master. Just like what I say, they are maybe doing very many times, so they can remember the answer and they can do it fast and great. Or they are just very good at this topic. And about the A-rank and region distribution, most of them are under 18 and live in southern Taiwan. I think that is because we are under 18 and we are living in southern Taiwan. So the people we will touch is close to these two areas. And it's time for the limitations. First, because of the time considered and limit capabilities, we can do further analysis on individual results. So that means we can know what is a particular people do better than other or not. And the people we reach are too low. We can only reach the people that are under 18 and live in southern Taiwan. And that is just a small part of all Taiwan. So I think we can go out of other country or so we can reach more people. And about the possible, and yeah, just like what I say, they are possibly repeated answering or random answers. So that will make the data just not clearly. And about the future inspection, we hope that we can reach more people of various backgrounds and ages, and analyze the promotion result on different platforms. And we can change the story and question to make them more playable. So we want to let the complete reply, the people that complete replies, and the people that's just in the game, do it close. And we hope to explore more advanced platform or coding methods, and cooperate with schools to help kids have deeper understanding of our game.
So moving on for the Ask For Us part, we had some takeaways when we made this game. So as for me, the biggest takeaway from me was cooperating with teammates with different needs and schedules. Since 3 of us team members were preparing for a CAP exam along with designing this game, so we had a hectic and busy schedule. So we had to squeeze a bit of time every week just to talk about and discuss our designs. And second one was exploring historical and environmental trivia. In daily life, we do not know these kind of knowledge. So as we designed our game, we had a more bit of understanding to these historical and environmental knowledge.
And for me, the biggest takeaway and the biggest challenge for me was to we had to convert these academic knowledge that are quite rigid and boring into more fun and playable game that many people want to play with. So instead of just going, hey, you know this, you have to know this, I have to tell you this. We want to go, hey, here's a cool thing, you want to know this, here's a game, and here's a story. If you play it, you will learn it along the way. We want to go with that vibe, and it was kind of challenging. And this is also the part that I learned most of. And also we had scaled up different design platforms where we can, before we changed to Google Forms to Open Lab, we also tried out Kahoot and something like that. So we finally decided on that. But also we hope that we can maybe try to code something out and make it more advanced.
And for me, of course, and you can see, right now I'm very scared about it. And the big challenge for me is to learn to make presentation in unfamiliar language. And so that you see that I did it. And we did it. Thank you. We are the Harvest Traders. And this is our teammate. This is Sasha. I'm Chris, and it's Joy, and Marcus, and Jay. This is our QR code to the game. You can just scan it and you can play it.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you for this group. I think your game will be quite interesting, because I'm a 15-year-old game player. Wow. Cool. I think it's even older than you guys now. Yes. And now I would like to invite our judges to pick up the piece of today's presentation. It will be Mangroves. Part of the Mangroves. And then, and then let's welcome our judges to give this group some encouragement and comments.
Can you explain to me, because I still don't have an idea what's your project try to, or your goal, what is your goal for this project?
So we created an RPG game that is, we aim to tell the public that not all forest species are bad species, because they are what shape our daily life. Because we believe that when we talk about sustainable future, it's not only about going back to the past and pretending that nothing ever happened over the past 400 years. It's about how we coexist, how we, us human and the environment coexist at the same time. So we hope to encourage our public to know that what we eat daily is not just as easy as we think, because mango are often considered as a specialty in Tainan, because we're from Tainan, but also we have to know that they're not originally from Tainan, but they also shape our daily life. And that is what we think is cool, and we want more people to know about that.
But in our daily life, I think a lot of the fruit or food is from outside.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not a big concern for me, but so that's why I'm asking why you want to teach.
So referring to the mangrove question, like a lot of people, I saw a lot of teams at Alice Forum, they talked about like non-native species or introduced species are kind of negative for us. But if you look at mangoes and other crops that are kind of specialties from Tainan, you can see that it was introduced like for a lot of 100 years ago. But at that time, there were introduced species and non-native species. But after these years, people do not think that have a negative side to them. Instead, they think it's local specialty.
I can ask another question, because this whole event, the purpose of the event is to drive action to get people to be involved and then do something to change environment, right? But for this thing you design, how you want to encourage people to change what? So for example, people after playing this game, and they know, oh, this is good. Yeah, I love mango, it's so good. So, and then what can they contribute? What can they do to make this a better world? I think it's more about how you make things happen that makes this place a better world. That's my question.
So thank you for your question and your comment. We will think about that. And also, we believe that it is not only about what we want people to do, it's also about what we want people to know. Because many of us, us included, we didn't know that red beans were introduced in just 100 years ago, and mangoes were like 200 years ago. That was like new things to us, and we hope and we think that just by knowing this, it can spark curiosity of these what we consume daily, where they are from, and how they contribute to our lives.
I think it's great to gamify. We call it gamify for food education. But my recommendation is you can go further because currently there's a lot of the goal of food education as a part of SDG is to make sure people understand you source food locally. You don't eat food that has contributed to more carbon footprints. So there's very specific action of how we minimize your carbon footprint through food education, but this may be your next step. This is my recommendation. Thank you.
I'm also from Thailand. So good job, Thailand team. Okay, and I really like the way you try to approach the problem. I think you do spend a significant amount of time on researching, trying to educate yourself on the topic. So this is very important. But like you said, time is really very limited because everyone has a lot going on in their life. So other than educating yourself, have you considered, thought about how to maybe reach out or to help you expedite the learning, or maybe leverage other people's knowledge rather than just do everything on your own?
You mean like collaborate with other experts?
Right, right. So this is something you don't need to answer here, but something I want to remind you, right? Like you said, budget is also an issue, time is an issue, resources an issue. So I think, like you mentioned earlier, like the other teams, they try to go out, to leverage other people's experience, or even you can ask them how they get the funding to do their project. So this is something, I think if you want to take your project forward or further to the next level, you need to be able to leverage the external resources to help you to grow your project or expand your impact. So this is something I want to suggest. And the question I have, it's really about how do you know people actually change their mindset after play your game, right? How do you, I play the game, does it guarantee I know about the food and the right attitude or like the actions I want to take it forward? What do you expect me to do? I don't see this being clearly articulated in the presentation. So I learned something, but so what? Again, this is eventually what do you want to achieve from this project? I think this is really important for you to think about. Okay, that's it. Thank you. You can ask if you want to.
So So thank you once again for your question, and we will think about that. And what we hope to achieve, for me, maybe I'm just one, but for me, when I know something that I learned from either from school or from a book, and then when I encounter this food or this knowledge again in my daily life, I would think back of, oh wait, I learned this, so what's more? And me personally, I would like to explore more about that. For example, what beans are introduced later or earlier, and what can they benefit to the world, or what could be their other usage. And that would be something I personally would like to move on into. And that is what I call spark curiosity, but I know it's not 100% guaranteed, or it's not like 60% guaranteed. We can't really do that. But just by spreading these new trivia to our crowd that is not usually provided in our official education teaching, I think that is a good way to start for us.
Thank you for this team.
And maybe we take a short break to make everything to fill up the
peer review book. So you guys got the paper, the form paper. Okay. Remember, you have to hand in this paper at the end of this session.
and come back at 10 minutes later.
Drink some water or go to the bathroom. You can go now. And our next team will start at 10 a.m. So please come back at 10 a.m. Okay? our second part of the session.
Hey, I'm so hungry. Do you bring something to eat?
Lunch boxes is on the way here, but I forgot to bring my own utensils.
But they're on their disposable chopsticks.
That's a lot of waste. It's not good for the environment.
Oh, come on, you're not usually like this.
It's all thanks to the next group. I have heard something from them to keep me be greener.
And that's welcome, the Green Living Activity Team.
Hello everyone, we are the Green Living No Problem team. Hi, I'm Diana.
I'm Kenneth. I'm Momo.
I'm Benjamin.
Why don't we take action?
In the summer of 2023, we were on a trip to South Show when the Earth hit its hottest day ever. It was so hot we could barely move. Do you know why?
Climate change. Yeah, climate change.
Yes, it's climate change. That's what everyone says these days. So what do? Turn on more ACs? But then we'll make the Earth even hotter. So what are we doing? That's when we felt a gap between the news and real life. Green living began as our way to bridge that gap, not by pushing one action, but by helping people make conscious choices. But to do that, we needed to understand the problem better. Now, Diana will tell you what we found. To learn more about climate change, we asked, why is the world getting hotter? But so few talk about it, and even fewer take action. We studied and asked questions. Many people had never talked about climate change, not in a real conversation. We learned that global warming is nearing the 1.5 degree limit. We realized that we can't stay silent. We must take action. Now, let's hear from Momo.
Our three-phase reactions. Climate change is caused by how we live, what we eat, how we move, and what we use. So we start with anything because change begins with daily choices, not just one specific action. We ask, how can we do differently, not just once, but every day? It began when we were in 5th and 6th grade. We've been working on this for 4 years, and we are still going. We won't find a fixed plan. After each step, yes. Do you really make a difference? We try, learn, reflect it, and kept going. That's how each new phase took shape. Now phase 1, willing to care. We didn't start with surveys of speeches. We designed our own posters and questions. They went into schools and onto the streets to talk with people. Not just to get answers, but to make people personally ask, does climate change matter to me? We asked, has anyone ever talked to you about climate change? Some didn't want to listen, others stayed to talk. And that's when we saw conversation to spark change. We recorded 257 face-to-face response. Later, spoke at a public event with over 100 people, some of youngest speakers there. Those members didn't come easily. Each conversation took time and courage. Over 300 people talk with us or hear us speak. About 86% were outside our echo chamber, people who don't usually hear about climate issues. Some said, thank you for making me think about this. People were willing to listen. Some were curious. Some started to think. That's where a career begins. Now, Kenny's will show what happens.
Phase 2, from willing into action. We kept asking, what else can we try? That's how we created these tools, games, and questions, all from scratch. We even built our own Arduino powered devices, a green action shooter and a marble bumper. We made it with recycled cardboard, simple circuits, and lots of trial and error. Shoot the correct green action cards to win the game. The light and the countdown effects made it fun. We also designed a Kaggle quiz game to help people connect climate change with daily life. We even made a purple version so people without internet could still join. Let's watch the video.
We designed a Kaggle quiz. Some used tablets, some used paper. Over 600 people joined. Quiz time!
38 degrees in the Arctic, that's hotter than Taiwan.
It's not in data, it must be fake. The answer is coming.
No way!
Everyone had fun and started to ask real questions.
It wasn't just a game. It got people asking, how does my lifestyle affect the planet? We used both the shooter and Kaggle quiz game at the SDGs fair. More than 600 people interacted with us. Some came for fun, but many stayed to ask questions and reflect. So we created a Oops, I Saved the Planet, a simple guide based on 6 areas of daily life: food, clothing, housing, transportation, education, and entertainment. We talked to 516 people, face to face. One said, I didn't know using a disposable raincoat affects the climate. But with clear, simple options, many found a way to begin, because climate action starts with finding a starting point. Now I will share how we continue spreading our actions further. Phase 3, from sharing to repose. New starting points. This time we led the action ourselves. We spoke up, not because we're told to, but because we cared. One of us said, it was my first time standing up for what I believe in. So we proposed it and created a system. Post publicly plus tag us to earn points for our secondhand auction. People loved it and even asked us to keep it going. It turned into action into action and action into repose. A platform built for repose. Our fan page wasn't for updates. It was designed as a platform to help action spread. We chose a fan page, not a group, because it's public and posts can reach beyond just members. When partners tagged us, it reached their friends, co-workers, and families, and even people they didn't know. Each post became a new ripple point. Someone tagged us, but we couldn't see it, so we made a short tutorial to fix it. This is the QR code of our fan page. You might think we'll say, please like, follow, and read our posts. Well, yes, but more than that. We invite you to join our green living community. Let's see how that works.
It starts with one person. They post publicly and take our pictures. We find them and they can find each other. That's how a green living community begins. It spreads from one person to another to another.
$3,500 likes, 12,000 reach, 99.7% non-echo. It started with just one post. Thousands, most weren't even our friends. It spread from one person to another to another. No ads, no stars, no budget. Just a way for actions to ripple. From clicks to change. We posted over 60 times, from a 42-day plastic challenge, to blogging, to a low-carbon trip around Taiwan. Each post received hundreds of views. But more than numbers, we started seeing change. Friends reminded each other to bring containers. parents started talking to their kids about energy. At Tala Elementary School, someone saw our booth and asked, "Why is coal-fired power the worst?" This wasn't just a question. It meant the ripple had reached her. From online to real life, from clicks to change, the ripple had become real. Now, let's look at our impact. Benjamin will take it from here.
Our grand impact. From willing to sharing, one step, one change, one ripple. Looking back, we saw different kinds of change. In phase 1, people were willing to listen, and some began to pay attention. In phase 2, they tried simple actions. And in phase 3, they shared their own choices to inspire others. Each phase showed deeper commitment and a wider ripple. Reaching farther, it started small, but didn't stay small. Phase 1 reached over 300 people through street interviews and events. Phase 2 expanded to 1,100 people through street interviews and SDGs fair. We started with friends and classmates, then schools, communities, and even non-environmental groups. Among them, up to 89% were outside our usual circle. From these face-to-face interactions, people paused, asked questions, and decided to try. Designing for ripple effects. They posted, it spread. In phase 3, we designed a way for others to become new starting points. They posted their actions, tagged us, and Green Living began to ripple through their circles. Let's watch the video. These posts became catalysts, reaching thousands, and sparkling real change. And the best part, we didn't buy any ads. Change we can feel. They didn't just see it, they were touched by it. Phase 1, thank you for making me think about this. Phase 2, starting small makes it easier. I won't buy disposable raincoats again. Phase 3, more people posted, and their friends responded. Like, let's do it together, or my family kept reminding me, so I finally brought my own canteen. Each comment wasn't just a feedback, it was a ripple. Green Living started becoming part of daily life, and there was real change we could feel. Diana, here's a work, so how much do we spend?
We didn't buy exposure. We didn't hire influencers. Just action and smart choices. And yes, under 2,000. Now let's hear from Benjamin about what's coming next.
Looking ahead. We're still in phase 3, with reflection, learning, and more intentional action. We hope Green Living keeps growing, not just as a name, but as a movement that goes on. From 1.0 to beyond, we want to pass it on. We want to thank our friends, Don't Drop at 5.0. Their 5 generations of work really inspired us to keep it going. We learned from them, and now we want to carry the spirit forward. We'll keep going, expanding to more platforms, launching new challenges, and work with both local communities and partner groups. And we'll keep sharing our actions so others can use it, adapt it, and spread it further. We found out FFF talent is huge. They're doing real climate education. We really admire that. We'd love to learn from them, and maybe one day do something amazing together. Can we? Yes. We're not rushing into phase 4. It's not doing more, but doing what matters. We pause, and when it's time, we'll know. There's more coming for Green Living, and we love to share what's next in Q&A. And now, our teamwork behind the scenes.
We love to tell you our teamwork stories. Make sure to ask us later.
Thanks for the green living activities, and I remember to bring my own utensils.
Well, great team. Yeah, and I mean, as adults, and I'm glad that as your age, you start to hear about the climate change issue, and also learn from or inspired by other teams, and we have this project. So, same question I asked the other team. How do you evaluate the long-term behavior impact of your three-phase strategy on your participants? Do you have any?
Yes.
Can you answer? Or you can think about it? And one question, are you trained?
Yes. We didn't just count numbers. We looked at the actions and feedback. In phase 1, we reached more than 300 people. And in phase 2, we expanded to more than 1,100 people. Last, in phase 3, we got 12,000 reach and 3,500 likes. But more than numbers, we look at the action. The actions and feedback are more important. Someone said, I will not use disposable raincoats again, and someone used their own containers to wash their dinner, and they took public transportation. They started to care, act, and share, and inspire. This shows that our actions make differences. Thank you.
Great job. So here, I'm going to ask you the question. What is the secret to your teamwork? You want to say that, actually. So tell us more about your teamwork.
Who had the second-hand auction? And then who built the fan page? Last, who made the videos?
Oh, you always
We did.
Who did that?
But we did.
Yes, you did help.
All right. I really love your project. You guys have made everything possible, but my favorite is that you learn to pause. Like every stage, you pause and evaluate, and then tune your project and see how to move forward, right? So what's your plan for, you haven't had, I just wonder, because you said you're still on planning stage. Do you have a, like, are you planning to do this? Do you already have something in your mind what you're going to do next year?
Yes, we want to mentor younger members and our parent track groups to lead future actions, and we'll expand to more platforms to, like Instagram and YouTube. Also, launch clean challenges like a low carbon trip month and a seasonal build challenge. We'll also share our strategies and tools, like our Arduino Green Sugar game and the Kahoot quiz. Also, we'll grow with new partners and real-world actions, like local communities and FFF Taiwan. Yeah, thank you.
Very good.
I have to say I'm really impressed at this age, and you already know a lot. I am very impressed with the project management and also even with the language you choose to in the presentation. So you say you want to mentor the future generations. Well, this is amazing. Okay. I understand what language itself is not a problem, but I'm still wondering, is there anyone help you with the presentation structures and help you with the presentation content? Or did you do this all by yourself? The PowerPoint presentations, the content, and the preparations to prepare you to present here. Do you all do it by yourself, your four of you, or someone help you to do this presentation?
We did the project, but we also got help. We have support from the Better and our partner Taiwanese.
Okay. This is good. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I think it's very important to leverage the resources you have. So you did a really good job on this one. I really like the presentation, the content, and the way you presented. Good job.
Thank you.
And so I think it's important to leverage the resources, like I said. But question. I liked your fan page already this morning, so I'm one of them. And but I know there are a lot of actions, you post on the Facebook for people to maybe adopt a similar practice. Did you ever think about trying to calculate in terms of the carbon footprint because of the green action you took? How much the carbon footprint in terms of reductions you have already helped to save the planet? Because the action itself is one thing, but when you see the number and the cumulative results, people will be inspired to make even a bigger number. So you need to think about some other ways to inspire people, rather than just tell them, take the action, but give them some carrots or something bigger for them to try to achieve the goal. So maybe that's something you want to think about. And I also like you said you want to mentor the other future generation. What's your plan? Yeah, you can think about it. You don't really need to answer it here. But I think yeah, like it might be helpful for you to think about like a toolkit, right? So make it a standard toolkit. So when you go out, go to the other school, try to find other members like you, the like-minded kids. And maybe you can teach them, how to start with their own actions. So the ripple will evolve. The ripple is not just here in your lake, in the other lakes too. Okay? But good job. Thank you for the work.
How old are you?
11.
How about you?
12. 13.
Thank you for this young but brave team. Actually, I think when I was young, when I was 10 years old, I was not brave enough like them to have an English presentation on the stage.
feel the temperature getting higher, and if I don't have the air conditioner on, I will be melting.
Yeah, it's all because the climate change.
But did you know that actually we have a green shield around us to quietly fighting the climate change?
Do you mean something like the Amazon rainforest?
Yes, but at here around Taiwan coastline, we have our green warriors, the Mangroves.
Well, I don't know that is our green fighter. I just know it's a name of an MRT station.
And now you know the mangroves are important for us, and that's welcome the next thing.
Next thing,
Part of mangroves.
Okay, good morning, honorable judges, fellow participants. We are the Heart of the Mangroves, and today we're here to present Mangroves, Nature's Shield Against Climate Change.
Okay, now start with table of contents. So the first one will be our team and our motivations, our plans and predicted results, future plans, impact and conclusion. So the first one is about our team. So we're 3 high schoolers who are really passionate about those climate change issues and also how we could change our world by a small action. But we have limited financial support, so therefore we actually gather our own money and our pocket money to do this project. Yeah, but since we're really passionate, so that's why we're here in this competition, because we want to promote this idea of our project. Next one. So motivation and issues. So as you guys know, when we're doing one project, okay. So when we're doing one project, it's important to start with proposal. And so that's why we started to do some research about our plan and project. So we started to find some issues and problems around the world. So there are actually 2 really important, crucial, but we are well known, like those issues. So the first one will be coastal erosion. So this one, we actually already knew about it, but we were not, it's actually because of the images that we found, because we need to found those resources, right? And so this is one of the images that actually shocked us and also motivate us at the same time. As you can see that during 1932, lands are pretty large and a lot of land. But during 2020, it's becoming limited, and the lands and coastals are disappearing. And so we are really shocked about it. And so this leads to those issues that we got through researching. And so the first one is coastal communities facing more those flooding issues or nature disasters, and also marine habitats like nursery are also destroyed because of this issue. And so it's not just for us, our human beings, but also for the animals. The populations are declining too. So we were really shocked and sad about it, and that's why we started to do this project. The next one, it's also climate change. It's, as you guys all know about it, it's about feedback loop. So basically that means the carbon, when it's having more carbons in this world, it creates a cycle of making more and more carbons, and that makes the environment worse. So the next one, William.
So I'll be talking about how exactly does mangroves solve these problems that were discussed earlier. So basically, mangroves are plants that can survive in areas like beaches or rivers that are hard for other plant species to survive in. And then the roots of these mangroves actually help stabilize the sand and soil and prevent them from erosion problems mentioned earlier. So basically that's one point that it can solve, and as a plant, it also absorbs CO2, so that therefore it slows down the climate change, and then it also provides shelter to marine animals and predators, which can protect the endangered species from going into extinction. Okay, so these are some major points. So now moving on to the juicy part of our presentation, our plan. So first, pre-planning. It's important for us to gather the sources of these mangrove saplings. So it will be important for us to locate these shops. So for us, we found an online shop that sells these mangrove saplings for us to plant. And then basically our plan is we gather these saplings and then we plant them, we try to plant them in beaches, near the beaches, to prevent these problems from getting worse. So some other things that we do in our phases, phase one is we try to spread awareness. We have very artistic people in our members, so they design these posters and flyers to help promote these problems and also help promote our plan and project to the public, to share the awareness and maybe also gather fund for these projects. And then lastly, the funding. So we're still setting up these online platforms like Zhe and also like GoFundMe.com, these online platforms that help gather these funds for these projects. Okay, next up is taking actions in public. So this is a photo taken when we go to Hainan, Yuguangdao, and then we were distributing the flyers to the public. And then this helps educate these public on these problems that were not discussed before, and these problems are often ignored by the public. So by doing so, they will be more encouraged to help the environment and also look at our project and see how exactly these plants will be able to have a positive impact on our society, in our ecosystem. So the last phase will be planting mangroves. So at first, we were trying to plant these mangrove trees near the ocean as close as possible. However, that's very difficult as you need to get approval from government officials and all sorts of like different organizations and stuff. So later on, we decided that the best choice would be planting these mangroves near the restaurants and shops that are next to these coasts. So they're still very close to the beaches, but these mangroves are now planted on private-owned gardens, which can help better give us monitor and control over these mangroves so that they won't go too crazy and wild and turn into a disaster. So, yes, these are some pictures taken when we were planting the mangrove saplings. And now we'll move on to result and future plan.
Thank you, William. So now moving on to the future plan. As a very small team, what's the first priority for us is to expand our size and our impact. So we plan to gather funds and buy more mangrove saplings and select a suitable place for us to massively plant them. And we want to make sure that volunteers and our classmates and the students from our community can participate in our plan as well. Also, we hope to hold workshops firstly in our small community centers and start to growing bigger and bigger so that we can educate the public about this issue, which is more normally unnoticed. And lastly, we want to organize charity runs. Why? Because I talked about we want to buy more saplings, but we have no money. So therefore, we need to organize such as flea market, charity runs, and bake sales to raise funds. And we also hope that we can host virtual events such as online webinars, so we can invite experts that can actually innovate and inspire us so we can make new improvements. And what are the results that we want from these new future plans? So first of all, it's environmental. As you might know, a tree can actually absorb up to 15 kilograms of carbon dioxide each year annually. So this is the most obvious result that we can get. But also, as Rebecca talked about, these mangrove trees can actually prevent coastal erosion and protect through shielding the vulnerable lands. We can provide habitats and breeding grounds for fishes and marine biodiversity. And also, we want to raise community awareness about this environmental issue through outreach such as giving out flyers and using online platform. This can lay a foundation for a future large, scalable, and long-term environmental project.
Right. To add on to the Jeremy's idea, we noticed how there's many questions about how exactly we can measure these impact, right? So the exact plan for measuring these impact would be to measure the CO2 emissions and also the biodiversity changes in these ecosystems before and after we plant these mangroves. And that would be one key point. The other key point is also we could measure the soil acidity and also water pH to see these changes, the positive changes that mangroves can bring into these environment and society, ecosystem.
Now, after all, what we've learned about it and what we've learned from this project, first is the most obvious one. Because we are the leaders of this project, we learned how to lead a team and actually plan a project. And most of them, we also developed communication skills through talking to the shop owners and discussing how can we actually plan these. And also, we've improved our designing skills by creating flyers and presentations. These also combine our personal interests, like applying to different competitions, into environmental action, so we can do more in the future. So learning through this project, we are more like a teammate, not just classmates. So in conclusion, this project is not only about planting trees, it's about impact. We want to make impact in our community as well. So we promoted local environmental issues and raised awareness through the public. And each member gained valuable skills as well, such as what I've mentioned, leadership and communication. But most importantly, I think we feel a stronger sense of belongingness to our city, Tainan. We are students from Tainan, and mangrove is actually a pretty big thing in Tainan because of the national park there. And so, as a Tainan citizen, I'm more interested into my city instead of just living there and know nothing about my city. And through realizing that these environmental issues are really important, but they are not actually noticed by the citizens. This is actually the most important motivation for us to do this project. So we discovered a new connection to our community, our city, so that we are more of a Taiwanese and a Tainan citizen. But at last, we didn't want to add something to our presentation.
Okay, so we also like to mention that through our exchange yesterday, we learned that there's a lot of big improvement that we can make in our future, and that there's some concerns that many teams often have on whether planting mangroves is actually good or bad for the ecosystem. So we also noticed that there are multiple news online that are trying to cut down these mangrove trees, but mangroves are not inherently bad. They do not harm the society or the ecosystem just because they're a bad invasive species. We believe that they are only bad because they are placed in the wrong positions. They are not put in the right places, and people do not take care of them well enough and put them under control so that they go very wild, they keep reproducing, and then they cause so much harm to the ecosystem that it ruins the ecosystem. So this is not what we are trying to do. So we noticed that we should not introduce a completely new species into these ecosystems that might have a chance to disrupt the ecosystem. So basically what we are trying to do is we try to reintroduce or species that are already in the ecosystem before. So we are just making more copies of these mangroves that are already in there. So there's a few flaws in our first planting because we didn't know so much about these mangrove plants, and that we only bought the mangroves because they're only from Taiwan, but that doesn't mean all the plants can be used in this project. So basically what we try to improve on in the future is we would like to have more experts' opinion on whether the location is good for these mangroves to be planted or they're actually very harmful after we plant it. So experts is one major thing that we would like to have, like mangrove expert or location experts, to guide us through whether or not we're doing the right thing. But in the end, we still believe that reintroducing mangroves into the ecosystem is actually beneficial to the ecosystem, and that the benefits that they bring us far outweighs the harms that can be avoided. That's why we are so proud to present our project. Thank you.
Thank you. And now you know the Mangroves not only the MRT station's name.
Right. Maybe I will go there after this forum.
And the judges to give us some encouragement.
It's a great presentation. And as you mentioned in the last part, you already learned from others' suggestion. You will find some expert to help you. So my suggestion is also partner with the local university, because in Thailand we have a lot of universities with these experts. And so, and also find the environmental NGOs to conduct the impact assessment, to design the assessment for you and provide the technical support. And one more suggestions, how do you plan to measure the effectiveness of your outreach effort? Say you have flyers.
Right, okay. So we have social media platforms already set up. So basically our flyers promote these social media platforms, and in the future, after we set up the fundraising online platforms, we hope to see like some what's the word, effect on the outreach. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for asking this question, because Rebecca actually set up an Instagram account, but because we're junior this year and senior next year, so we didn't really have time to do it. But this is our goal for the future plans, because outreach is a really important part in this project. So if we can do this in the future and everybody can see this, and so then Rebecca can be proud of her work as well. And so this is also one of our goals, to come to this competition, to learn with and see different perspectives. Thank you.
One more point before. So the three of us also participate in multiple other organizations, such as Rotary and Interact. So through those organizations, we have go through many like summer camps and winter camps, workshops, and so many. So we hope to use the same experience we learned from these organizations, other organizations, and put it into this one. Yes.
So what you're saying is this is going to be a road that you will continue, but you will change, evaluate, and evolve, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Because we are from Nanke, and we actually have an Interact, so Rotary Youth Group, and our classmate is also the president of this group. So what we hope is to pass this down as a legacy to our younger generations and our brothers and sisters as well.
So do you have like a good system? Like for example, you meet every month, or you talk to you every quarter, and you look to bring a new, like you said, you have a lot of inputs from yesterday. So do you have a plan, like maybe by next year or by next month, you're gonna put out a new plan, how to get more science data in, get more experts to help you to plant the right trees? So what's your timeline in doing this?
So we actually live very close. So every time we want to talk about this project, I just have to go to electric bike, like 5 minutes to their house and knock on their door. Yeah, so it's very easy to communicate with my teammates, and then they might have some input on the plans for like experts.
As I mentioned, the Interact group, so actually we have weekly meetings. So we plan to bring this up to Interact next year, because it's summer break, right? So next year, after we start the new school year, we plan to bring that up to the weekly meetings as well.
Yeah, and for summer break, we're also planning to continuing searching for a lot of resources and a way to do some promotion too. And so also next month, I'm also going to the Taipei SDGs competition or like presentation. So we also hope that through this event, we could like promote more of this project's values. And so, and also we could also make some expert because it's like an international project and activity. So we hope through like these events, we could like gain some improvements and a lot of more resources. Yeah, thank you.
I'm feeling a bit, sweet and sour about this. We talked about this earlier this morning. I think planning on group is one thing, okay? But trying to solve a problem is another thing that we need to consider because you need to have a goal. What do you want to achieve? If the goal is just to plant the tree, it's a totally different story. But you talk about the climate change, right? You talk about the coastline erosion. So is planning mangrove it's the only solution that you can have? This is the most effective solution, or it could be a combined, solution, one of the solutions. But then, in order for you to determine what is the best approach, sometimes that's not the only choice. You might have a multiple choice or combined choice, right? So how, like you say, you want to engage an expert, but it sounds to me you are like trying to get an expert to help you to choose the tree, rather than helping you to determine what's the best approach to solve the problem you want to address. So I want to advise you to go back and to really think about what is the problem you want to solve. It doesn't have to be like a big problem. Maybe just start with a small problem. And at the end of the day, what you're trying to solve today need to meet with the goal in the longer run, right? If the goal is really to help to stop the coastline erosion, then you need to come back and think about what's the best way or the quickest way for you to achieve, to help you to achieve this goal, and who are the partners, who are the experts you want to reach out. So this is really important. Otherwise, you don't just invite randomly anyone who has a say or who has the money and then you listen to them. This is not gonna work. It just keeps you busy with the activity, but it doesn't help you to achieve your end goal. So I want to advise you to think about this. And I think also beyond raising awareness through the flyers, right? And is there any other way? Because the flyers, it's also paper. It's causing environmental issues. Is there any digital way? Like right now, I know you said you are too busy, so you don't even have time for the posting. So, but then if you are not able to leverage the digital tool and you are trying to reach the others through words of mouth, it's kind of difficult,
So thank you for all the input. For the last question, I'll start from the back and then go to the front. And then so first, we have both the online platforms as well as physical platforms. So both of these platforms work at the same time. And then we also mentioned like the future fairs or the future big awareness spreading projects that we were planning for. So these are like summer camps and then all of these other things or workshops. So that's some point. And then for experts, we're not just going to like random people and just looking at what they have to say about our project. So as Rebecca mentioned earlier, these competitions actually help us realize the flaws in our project and how we can improve it and how we can do more research maybe. And also how in these type of project and competition or like international competitions, you get to meet people that know more about mangroves or people that know more about which locations are best suited for these things. So that's why we mentioned earlier that the person we should be asking or contacting the most with is these local people that know best about these ecosystems and whether or not we're doing the things that we're trying to do are trying to protect our ecosystem or harm the ecosystem. So it's not just random experts, it's more of like local or like people who are passionate about mangroves and have like good inputs into how we can make this plat better and more effective. Yes.
Thank you for the advice, and now we all know that what our goals are, and we can think about how we can utilize our resources more. Thank you all for listening.
Just one last input is that I know you already have a social media, but my recommendation is make sure that you also use that to track data with science as science-based, so that it can help to prove what you do is worthwhile. It is not whimsical action to seeking attention. That's our biggest problem nowadays. So it will be nice to establish some way through social media to collect specific data and monitor changes. That will be perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the heart of the Mangroves team. So many teams project is because of the climate change, the hotter and hotter weather. So what is necessary for you guys in this kind of hot weather? Anything is necessary for you guys in this kind of hot drinks? Yes, that's right. Ice drink is also necessary for me in this kind of hot weather.
And I think that's the reason why people bring a cup of drink with them.
Yeah, but you can see many people just use the cup directly from the drink shop. Why don't they bring
disposable cups?
Yes, why don't they bring their own bottles?
Well, those disposable cups might seem convenient, but they do cause a lot of waste.
Yeah. So is there any way that we can help to deal with this kind of waste problem?
Well, maybe the next thing will inspire you.
I'm all ears. Let's welcome the next team. Team Journal Treasures.
$400 million. That is how many tons of plastic we produce every year. Look at the number, it doesn't even fit the screen. In Taiwan, we produce 4.5 billion disposable beverage cups each year. That number can stack up to a height of 132,000 Taipei Wonderwoods. Can you imagine that? Here are some common chain stores you can find across Taiwan. And let me ask you a question. Out of all these chain stores, or off the top of your head, can you name one single chain store, food-related, in Taiwan that does not provide single-use utensils? Anyone?
You literally can't name anyone.
Stores always say, we want a greener earth, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
But do they truly wholeheartedly believe in this cause?
Or are they just doing all of this for their branding and marketing identity? So far, 1 minute has elapsed on this presentation. Within this 1 minute, 1 million plastic drinking bottles have been produced, used, and thrown away. And after this presentation, millions of plastic drinking bottles will be produced, used, and thrown away.
I'm Selena. I'm Tammy.
I'm Claire.
And I'm Rayhan. And we are the
Teen Thermal Thrashers.
Our story starts with Lisa Coffee. It's Taiwanese owned, and it's arguably the most popular coffee shop in Taiwan. We have over 510 stores across the island, and it's also very well known in other Asian countries like Thailand and Singapore.
Wow, I'm so proud.
But can we really be proud of this, and this? Every Lisa coffee shop we walked in, we saw disposable utensils.
This raises the question. Why are people still using disposable utensils when they're clearly dining in?
We asked many store managers from different Lisa coffee shops, and we essentially got the same answer from all of them. Their store policy says that they're only allowed to provide reusable utensils to customers who are dining in and if their drink is hot.
And some Louisa coffee stores don't have reusable utensils at all. So basically, if you get a cold drink, get food, or anything else, Louisa coffee workers will still give you disposable utensils.
And to us, that doesn't make sense.
So we started a campaign encouraging people to ask for reusable utensils in cafes. Our goal, make it easy, make it normal, and make it loud. Aside from reminding people to keep the environment in their minds as they go through their daily lives, we also used the signatures we collected to negotiate with Louisa Cafe to implement reusable utensils. So armed with posters and ambitions, we camped outside Louisa Cafe, asking people to sign in support of reusable utensils. In total, we obtained about 230 signatures by going out to advocate whenever we got free time from schoolwork. But with high school looming over us, it was extremely difficult to work out our schedules. Thankfully, we managed to make it work. When we were collecting signatures, we faced a ton of rejections, especially when temperatures were freezing. And there was also an unexpected plot twist, which was that most old people we encountered already brought their own cups. So instead of getting discouraged or giving up, we got smarter. We checked which days had more foot traffic, targeted people holding disposable cups, and we went up to larger groups so we could peer pressure the entire group into signing. None of this would have been possible without a few basic resources. Our budget mainly went towards printing that wonderful poster, which kept us looking fresh and professional while we froze outside Louisa. It was worth it though. But posters and supplies only got us so far. What really kept us going was moral support, both from our own team members and from our new partners.
We partnered with Fridays for Future Taiwan to host a big collaborated event, and this event really skyrocketed our project forward.
So hi, my name is Tammy. I'm the founder of Fridays for Future Taiwan. And just a little disclaimer, Selena and I are actually not a part of the Society of Wilderness. Don't let the uniforms fool you. But we're actually here because we got invited to collaborate for this project to make it even bigger and to reach more people that are a part of our communities that we have established over the years. So let me talk a little bit more about us and then we can move on to see how we apply to this project. So, little audience Q&A. Who knows who this is? So I'm seeing some hands. Do you guys want to shout out who this is? That is correct. This is Greta Thunberg. When she was 15 years old, she sat outside the Swedish parliament to protest against the lack of environmental action taken by her government. And we did the same in Taiwan. So over the past few years, we have been very involved in climate strikes in Taiwan. However, we did realize a pattern. In Taiwan, the culture here is a little bit different from what it is in Europe. So there is kind of this negative stigma surrounding the concept of skipping school and protesting. So we decided to shift away from climate strikes, and instead this year we focus on climate education, which is how we applied to this campaign. So we decided to talk to some of the existing members, and we decided that we and our organization can come in and help promote it and reach a bigger scale of it. So first we went on the streets to help the campaign, and we decided to expand it by inviting the members to join some of our existing events, to go into schools and to focus on climate education and spreading the message about this campaign. So as you can see, we went to the Yale Modern United Nations Taiwan conference. We also went to different schools to talk about this campaign specifically, also specifically targeting younger students to let them know more about what we're doing. And this can't be done without mentioning the biggest event we have pulled out for this campaign, which is when we went to Da'an Park, Da'an Sailing Gallery in Taipei, and we hosted an event. And you can see here that we did a lot of social media promotion as well as some sort of digital footprint collection for you guys to see the data. And for that event, we made sure to use creative means for people to know what we're doing. So instead of using the traditional means of just going on the streets and asking for like a signature, like, hey, this is what we're doing, can you sign this petition for me? We didn't do that. Instead, we had our members perform there. We sang, we danced, we had street performances. And when the pedestrians stopped and looked at our performances, we actually started talking to them about what we were doing. So this was a creative way to reach people and at the same time make sure that it wasn't just a very just approachable based tactic that we used. So that was what we did, and we definitely reached a lot of people. As you can see, all these boards were filled with signatures by the end of the day.
And as the president of Fridays for Future right now, I'm also I also have another identity as one of the reporters here at the Mirror News Teens Weekly news unit. So what we did was to utilize our connections. I invited my peer to report our event, not only because we utilized this connection, but also because our manager found this event newsworthy to report, that we utilize a lot of creativity from high school students, what we have as talented students. I danced, I sang, and also I continue to report on events further on, producing 2 more units. One about interviewing the Minister of Environment, Peng Qiming Buja, about his future goals on reducing disposable waste, and another interviewing the store manager of Louisa Coffee Shop and his view on the challenges on the business model that might or might not be changed towards a more sustainable way. And throughout the event, we collected about 300 signatures and also attracted more media attention, more attention from the pedestrians. We collected signatures from the pedestrians not only to gain attraction, also use that to negotiate with further business companies, but also to make a psychological mark in these petition signers that in the future, when they walk into stores, they'll be reminded that, hey, I signed this petition and I'll make a more sustainable choice. So we have these 2 layers as in our goal. And also, since March, I've been communicating and collaborating with this Louisa Coffee manager, which we also interviewed. So it's near Taipei 101, where I usually studied. So basically, I studied there every day, and he basically knew me because of that. So I talked to him. Hey, we have this project. Can you also help? So he let us stick some posters upon the entrance to remind pedestrians and also customers to bring their own reusable cups, and also ask for mug cups in dining situations. But he also helped us track more the usage of reusable cups through the 2 months, as you can see here. But when we realized that there's little change happening, he also suggested even further on that, hey, you can also print smaller posters and put it on top of the tables and in the near the recycling area. So his openness made us realize that we can actually connect with more Louisa Coffee store managers, or more or act more actively towards them. And if we can change just a few stores, their managerial positions or their managerial ways into a more sustainable way, then we can use these examples to communicate with the Louisa branch itself, the Louisa business itself, and then expand to the business world, then expand to governmental institutions. So Rihan will talk about that.
So before we start talking about our future plans, let me rewind our presentation back to the start and look at the start of our presentation. So here are some very wonderful pictures you've seen from the start of our presentation. And as you may have noticed, we collect these signatures all on paper. But you see these QR codes on our posters. Well, at first we actually wanted to have petition signers sign our petition online. However, we found a lot of problems with this. For example, all of the websites we use for petition signing are in English. And if we're interacting with Taiwanese people, it's sometimes hard for them to understand English. So, and another problem that we found was that these petition signing websites, they always required a lot of information from the petition signers, which de-incentivized a lot of people to sign a petition. So that's why we didn't get a lot of signatures online. So at first, at the start of our presentation, we did turn back to paper signing and having people sign on our posters. And although these paper signed signatures are very authentic, we knew that sooner or later we would have to turn to online petitions because we're in the digital era and we want to extend our project, not just to be in person. So I will spare you all the searching we did, and we looked through a lot of websites, but ultimately we decided to make our own website and have our own petition to make it easier for petition signers to first of all understand and make the process easier for them. So we created this website, and you can scan that code to go directly to a petition page, which looks like this. And another really good thing about having our own website is that we can personalize it and customize it based on our project goals and how we want to share our project with you guys. So here's our homepage that we have personalized. And we're also, since this website is very new, we made it like around a month ago, we're still expanding on this website, and we are currently working on a work timeline to show people, the public, and you guys what we've done so far on this project and to track our progress. And in addition to that, we also want to create a feedback page to receive feedback from you guys and the public. And in addition to the feedback page, we also will be creating a page showing people having a step-by-step guideline, showing people how they can join our movement without having to become in contact with us. And so that page will be showing people how they can join our movement from the comfort of their own homes. So finally, the most important part, future plans. Our short-term goal is to partner with organizations and school clubs, and we've already started doing this, and with FFF Taiwan. And our midterm goal is that we want to continue this project until next year, and we will be having Society of Modernists members joining us in the next years. So the big question, or long-term goal. So at the start of our presentation, you may have been wondering, why do we collect all these signatures? A lot of people also ask us when we ask them for signatures. So we collect signatures because signatures can help us materialize our progress. We collect signatures because we can show you and the rest of Taiwan how important this issue is and how many people are now aware and want a change. We collect signatures so that we can incentivize stores like Louisa to make a change on their policies, because it's a pretty simple issue, and through incentivizing them, they would be more likely to make a change on their dine-in practices. So we hope that through this project, we can have Louisa make a change on their dine-in policies and have people use reusable utensils. And we hope to make Louisa a store that we can be proud of as Taiwanese citizens. Thank you. Here are our citations and the overall budget. Thank you, judges, and thank you for listening.
And now you know to remember to bring your own cups to the drink store, not only for the environment and also for the $5 discount.
Okay, just mention that you have a feedback platform. Could you learn from your feedback platform to learn the customer behavior change or the store their mindset? Like Lisa, will they use not use the disposable and use the cell phones?
Since we have already started communicating with Louisa, we realized that this problem isn't actually as simple as we thought, because at first we just thought maybe it's the stores are lazy and they want to lower their budget, so they just started using disposable utensils. But we realized after contacting with the store managers, we realized that this problem is actually really multifaceted. And since it's a multifaceted problem, we need to approach it in a multifaceted way too. So since we're already in contact with the Louisa managers, we will continue to be in contact with them, and we will negotiate with them so that they might be able to change their store policies. And in addition to that, we will also stay in contact with Louisa customers, because we need to approach this problem in two different ways.
The Louisa coffee manager that we're in contact with, he's also helping us collect data, like how many people are using the mugs, how many people are bringing their own cups, and how many people are using disposable cups. So, yeah.
Okay, hi. I saw that on the presentation with the specific data. I think it's wonderful. Actually, my question, you said it's multifaceted, because I remember I read the data is that before 2019 COVID, it's decreasing. People are really starting to consider not to use disposable stuff. But after COVID, flipped. the situation flipped.
Yes.
But I have to say, people are worried that it may be next COVID coming.
Yeah.
So how do you address those things?
So I think that it's a very good question, very important thing that we also asked this question to the Louisa manager, and his answer was also that the transition from, so originally it was actually dine-in, they have these mug cups, right? And then now it's, no matter it's dine-in or takeout, it's like the paper cups. So it's a shift because of the COVID era, and these store policies, they're already kind of very comfortable with this managerial model to use paper cups. But actually, for them, the cost of buying these paper cups are actually higher than the mug cups, than using the mug cups. So if we can package them, so this is for the store side and for the business side, if we can package to them many incentives and package them into one package, for example, ESG, their ESG mindset, their publicity in this area, and also if they can buy and sell like carbon credits, all these things, and also from farmer grassroots, we can show how people also want this change. And from the people's side, there's education to do, that we can spread the knowledge that it's actually sanitary to use the mug cups in dining situations, because at least in these chain stores, they have very strict washing and sanitary positions. And so there's education, and there's also, we can educate more people if they have this sense of they want to protect the environment, but also they're afraid of such healthcare issues. They will we can educate them to use reusable cups and give them more incentives to do it.
I'm just saying that when you do the education promotion, because of COVID, a lot of groups have, we call it post-COVID redesign of educational message and the program. So you probably need to put that into your planning or when you promote things. It's easier for people, because I've noticed that some mothers are very concerned. They are still worried. And also for the manager of the store, it's not their fault sometimes. I feel that they're just suffering with this. So I think it's important to keep that in mind and make sure that when you educate people, you have the good balance of taking care of their concern. Otherwise, it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add on to that really quickly. I think a very key point to that is transparency between both the customers and the business itself. Coming from a family that's pretty paranoid about COVID myself, I understand where customers are coming from. So I think moving on with our project, it's really important to move on with transparency. It's about letting people know that it's actually sanitary to use it, and it's also sustainable. It's a win-win situation for both the businesses as well as ourselves and our planet. So I do think that that is something we can work on, just to promote transparency overall.
I have a question. Have you asked yourself why people are okay to use reusable, eating utensils in the restaurants or even in the Starbucks cafe, right? Why not in the Louisa cafe? Why people behave differently?
It's not really about the people's behavior. A lot of Louisa cups, they don't even have mugs themselves. They don't have the physical thing. So even if you want mug cups, you can't get it.
Right. So that's not the customer's problem, right? And you are now educating or trying to influence the customer to use the mug, but at the end of the day, since the problem is the store itself doesn't even provide usable cups, should this be something taken to the headquarters level to engage them directly for them to make a decision And right now, it seems to me we are beating around the bush, trying to influence people, the user. It's one thing. It's good, taken from the grassroots, but you need to talk to someone on the top.
Yes.
To make it happen, have you thought about trying to engage them?
Yes, actually our ultimate goal is to change, is to make policy changes or talk to these businesses about these changes.
Right, okay, so ultimate goal sounds to be like very, very, long journey. Would it be possible for you to make a petition now, gather this user signature or gather your voice and demanding the executive of Louisa to have a conversation with you, because you have the right, to ask them to be environmental friendly, because this is the world we want to live. So it's not like we are vulnerable. We can only wait and wait for them to tell us they are ready so they can move on to the stage. I think we are now in the era that we can build up the momentum with all the creativity activity you have, and to make your voice heard by the Louisa headquarters. But that's one thing I think you should think about it, and also think about why the business itself, they didn't even want to provide the cup. They say the mug is the plastic or disposal cups are more expensive. Could that be the cost of the labor? So they prefer to use the disposable cups. So I think right now you need to expand your thinking to think about what's really the issue behind, rather than the service level issue because the customers or the hygiene issues, or because they don't they want to take it conveniently, something like that. I think at the end of the day, we are the customers. When we go into the store, but not oftentimes we, because we want something to be quick. Whatever they serve us, we take it to go. We didn't really think about what they give us. But if they start to serving with the reusable utensil in the first place, that's good, right? But it probably didn't come into my mind if they didn't do it.
So I think really quickly, because we have like 30 seconds, I would just like to respond really quickly for the first question. I understand your concern. Maybe my earlier response was a little bit more misleading with the transparency part, but I want to just emphasize that this entire campaign was centered towards getting these signatures so we can go talk to these business leaders. That was the whole point of it, and it's a work in progress.
Right. So signature, so does it really matter for you to talk to the executive?
Yeah, because it's concrete evidence. When we talk to them, we need evidence to back up, and I think that was ultimately why we chose paper as well.
And adding on to that really fast, for the second question, for the first question, but the reason why we're going to both customers and also user managers is so that we can approach this problem in two ways. Because we have talked to the user managers and they told us that some customers are, as you said, they want something to happen fast, they want their drink fast, so they don't really mind what beverage, what cup they use. So we need to approach this in two different ways. We want to have customers be aware of what things they're using, as well as have stores provide these things so that customers can decide.
Right, so I think what I'm trying to say is I want to encourage you to think beyond signature. If there's any other way for you to demonstrate as evidence, to engage Louisa. And also, when you talk about the stakeholder, the business manager of a particular branch store and the customer, and so at the end of the day, you all go back to the Louisa headquarters. Okay, if the CEO said, okay, let's use the reusable mugs, then everyone follows, right? And who has the influence power on the CEOs? Make their stock price matters. Shareholder values, a responsible enterprise. So there's a lot of way for you to talk to the CEOs, not just the signatures. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay, so what you're suggesting is we talk to stakeholders as well as the user managers.
And so CEOs.
The
CEOs, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for this meeting. Actually, I have bought 10 bottles, 10 reusable bottles because it looks beautiful. But actually, they are in my shelf, not with me. I'll try to bring them with me tomorrow.
Okay. And since 16's very good presentation, and maybe you don't have time to fill up your peer review form. So here has 5 minutes for you guys to fill up your forms.
And after you finish filling up your form, please hand it to our staff behind this classroom, Hu Zihua and Xiao Bai Tu.
Please say
Hello, everyone.
encouragement.
So it's been a pleasure to be here. I think I attended last year and
Yes.
previous years.
Yes.
And always a pleasant and glad to see all the young generation. You have such a good idea and also have been team met together and to care about the environmental issues. So my suggestion is that, like I ask each team's questions, so you need to think about how do you measure the effectiveness about your project and the goal. Also, you need to think about what is your project goal. So then you can think about how do you measure this effectiveness. And also, you can create the toolkits for next generation or for other group to replicate your project. So it can raise more awareness and more action about doing like a cigarette butts or the other environmental issue. Yeah. So this is my suggestion to all of you. And yeah, you have done a great job. Thank you.
I'm really impressed. I really love your work because I think for myself, when I'm 16, I do nothing. You guys are amazing. I was just like eating pizza for the time here, doing all the precious stuff. But what I'm trying to say is, I think there are 3 things you can work on. Because do you know the word called greenwashing? Greenwashing? You know, right? Okay. 我讲中文。
No. 不行。No.
Because nowadays we're busy with social media, right? So the term greenwashing is about getting the attention but do nothing. Do you know that? Because there's a lot of people earn a lot of money from GoFundMe and from donating to YouTube. Did you pay ever for the YouTube? You donate, right? And they do nothing. This is the biggest issue right now because social media making a lot of noise, but a lot of people claim they're green, they're doing environmental activity. They just get all the money and do nothing. So for this event, the key is about we need to prove we do a lot and we don't get the money for ourselves. We're really helping the society. So how to prove that? Your science data. That's why we kept on talking about what's your goal? What's your data? Are they real? Right? So I need your data. I need it to be science-based. And I need it to be authenticated. Is that too difficult word?
No.
Authenticated. It has to be true. Okay? So the thing is, what you're doing is great, but I want to see them become a real project, but not just promoting, talk about it, just like a lot of social media people that I don't like. They talk a lot, and they don't do a lot. So that's what I really wish, really hope to see from you. Okay, good job, continue.
I really enjoyed the time to be here today. And today is a very special day, not just because we are all here. Do you know what happened in 1969? That's 56 years ago. What happened today?
56 years ago?
Yeah, we were not even born yet.
Land on the moon. Land on the moon.
The first man landed on the moon, Apollo 13, and the first man stepped on the moon is Neil Armstrong. And do you know what he said? The little step.
One small
step is a giant leap for the human being, the mankind. So Everything starts with a really small but bold idea, want to change things, okay? And with a belief that we can do it. So I think today I see a lot of brilliant minds and with a lot of passion and willing to do better for the future generation. So I thank you for that. And coming back to the presentation, I want to say most of you did a great job in terms of presenting your personal journey, the stories, how it got you here today. But I have to say, a lot of activities, very interesting activity, and maybe a lot of interaction with outsiders or people that you reach, you build friends. However, sometimes the activity doesn't really mean impact or influence. But because if you don't have a very clear idea in terms of your results, what you are trying to, the problem you try to solve, you will end up planning a lot of activities, but not necessarily linked to the results you want to have. So I would encourage the team to really think about, the vision that you have for your project. For example, the vision I have for the Jinchengbu Lake is in 3 years, I don't want to see any dead water birds, migratory birds killed by the stray dogs. That's my vision for the future. But then it will guide me back. So how do I make sure it doesn't happen? And how do I know there's no incidents like this happen? So then I should collect this kind of data, not just data because of people click on my fan page or because of people see my video. Okay? You need to collect meaningful data that is able to support your goal. Because you want to take the data to engage the government, to engage the residents, to engage the people going there to take necessary action. So everything will have to be linked together. It's not, oh, let's do something. So we come up with like a show, let's go sing and dancing. How does it help with your results? You need to think about it. Otherwise, with like the little time you have today, you have so much things to busy with. Probably the progress will become very slow. So that's something I really want you to go back to think about. Set up a goal for yourself and make sure all your actions are linked to the goal and with a measurable evidence you can take to engage the people you need. And another thing that I really want to talk about is I know you already start trying to build out your alliance. I think this is good to leverage and to amplify your impact. But if you want to really to amplify the impact faster, and you need to be ready to have a toolkit. And the toolkit, it doesn't happen when you want to have it. You need to document your learnings, right? And your actions and what you learned when you finish your project phase by phase. So this is something I think important. Make sure you don't just do the activity planning, you also document your learning. And the most effective way to amplify your effort, maybe not through the paper or the fan page, but through the video. So that's something in terms of skill base, you also probably want to explore. I know you are good at gaming, develop the games, but are you good at making short videos? Maybe you also want to try to think about what are the necessary skills for you to amplify your impact in the future. So that's it. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, our great judges. And now to express our thankful, and we would like to invite the convener of the Environmental Action Forum, Mr. Ke, to come up the stage.
And now invite our judges to come to the front for the certificate. Okay, now welcome Professor Yu Huifeng.
Everybody sing along with me.
And welcome Miss Huang Jingyu. And welcome Miss Li Fangfei. Thank you again for these 3 points.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for coming to this event. I really appreciate it. Without your participation, this event cannot be made possible. And also, whenever I come here, I was always admired by your courage of coming up here to present your stuff in English and also be questioned by those business-oriented judges. I know I will freak out, but you guys did not, okay? So before I wrap the whole thing up, do you have any suggestions about this forum, about these activities? Raise your hand, let me know so we can improve it. Anybody? Don't be shy. Well, if you do want to say something, you don't want to speak in English, you can say it in Chinese, I don't mind. Anything? If there's nothing, I'll have to wrap the whole thing up. Now, could you please come up here, hosts? I must say that they have done a wonderful job, and those are students from Donghai University, and she is going to Britain for her graduate study in September. Thank you very much. And also, I must say one thing, that in order to make this thing possible, I need to thank a lot of people. And also, I need you to thank a lot of people. You see, we have rounded up like 60 to 50 volunteers to organize, to execute this event. So please, when you get your lunchbox, when you finish your lunchbox, go to those volunteers. Tell them that, thank you very much for choosing such a nice lunchbox for us. And also they have prepared a lot of iced waters, all kinds of iced water, but you had to bring in your bottles, okay? Thank them, because they cook them, they boil them. It took them a lot of time and efforts, and they have to prepare a lot of bottles. So go there, thank them, please. Thank you very much.
And here's something that Steph want me to tell you. Number one is please submit your completed peer review forms to our staffs, Xiaobai and Wu Zihua, sorry. And if you haven't completed yet. And number two is to check your personal belongings and make sure you haven't left anything behind. Number three is each team please send 2 to 3 members to the breakfast area out there and to get your meals. And don't forget to say thanks to them. Remember to return the mailboxes. And number 4 is remember at 2 p.m. we have the award ceremony and closing ceremony in the Maobang Hall on basement floor. And for dear judges, teachers, and students, and all participants, our event is coming to an end. First, we want to sincerely thank every team for your dedication and wonderful presentations. Your creativity, patience, and commitment truly impress us all. And we also appreciate our 3 judges for their professional feedback and valuable encouragement. And we hope that today's event are not just a competition, but also an inspiration, starting point for you to reflect, to connect, and bravely pursue your dreams. Wherever life takes you, don't forget the passion and purpose you feel today. And thank you again for being here. May you all continue to chase your dreams and keep moving forward. See you next time. We are to take a photo together, so everybody move to the center of the classroom.
Move to the middle.